Hey there, I'm Jamie, owner of Raven Media Company. Today I wanted to do a video to show you how to generate qualified leads from Facebook ads campaigns for your service-based businesses. Get those leads sent over to Google Sheets so you can track those in a spreadsheet format, make educated decisions on how to scale your campaigns to be more profitable. So what we're looking at here is Ads Manager. If you're not familiar with Ads Manager, you need to get on a desktop or a laptop computer, pull up adsmanager.facebook.com, sign in with your Facebook account information. If you've never created a campaign in Facebook ads, I have a video that kind of goes through the basics of that. If you need professional help with it, my information's in the description below or in the comments, so check it out. But I'm not going to walk you through that process now. Basically, we're on the ad set level here, which is where you choose your conversion location. All right, when I say conversion location, this is where people end up communicating with you, okay? This is what they count as a conversion in your Ads Manager data. So imagine if you spent $100 and you've gotten one person contacting you. It's important to know that you've spent $100 and got one qualified lead, okay? You'll understand why I say that here in a moment. So these are different options that you can choose. Website, you send them to your website, they contact you there, then that counts as a lead. Instant forms, they fill out data there. You can ask them various questions to qualify them. They hit submit, they become a lead. Messenger, they send a message, whether it's by accident or whether it's intentional. If that window pops up, they're counted as a lead. A combination of forms and Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp calls, and app. Okay, so if you're still boosting posts, this is not going to work for you, okay? You need to understand how to create a campaign in Facebook Ads Manager. It's not going to work by boosting. So this method is going to be using instant forms because we want to ask them a question or two, make it intentional so we know that they're serious about us giving them a quote or an estimate. Okay, if you're using the messenger feature, what's going to happen is they're going to click the button by accident. That button's going to cause a window to pop up and they're going to get an auto reply from you asking them if they need an estimate, and they're going to understand why that's happening. They're going to be counted as a lead automatically, even if they hit it by accident. So that's important to know because it's going to skew your results. If they didn't mean to contact you, Facebook's going to say, okay, well, they hit the message button, we're counting them as a lead. So you need to rule that out because they're not intentional. Also, the messenger feature is a little bit cumbersome because you can lose track of all the messages that you're like kind of fielding throughout the day. You may remember talking to someone in the morning, the next day you may not even remember they existed. So they get buried and buried and buried, and you get tons of people, and 9 times out of 10, they're not even really wanting to talk to you. They're just doing it by accident. So steer away from that. Think of the instant forms as being the best solution here, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that when we go down to the ad level. So over here on the right, you see a form. This is a preview of the form that I've created. I'm not going to get into how to create forms. I have a video that tells you how to create a lead form on Facebook. You can check it out on YouTube or Facebook. But essentially, you're trying to put them through the paces to qualify them. You know, for instance, ask them a question. Do you need our help with your project? Yes or no. If they click yes, it'll carry them to a screen where they enter in more information and then they hit submit. That qualifies them as a lead. It'll send it to a spreadsheet or to a CRM tool that maybe you have, and then it'll allow you to track them from there on out and organize that data in a way that you can kind of keep track of it. Okay, if they select no, it's going to take them to this page. Thank you, but no thanks. So it's not going to count them as a lead in your Ads Manager data. Whereas if you're using the message feature, like I told you earlier, it's going to skew those results because those are accidental messages that you're getting. These are all intentional. The likeliness of someone submitting a form after going 2 or 3 steps into it by accident is very slim. Okay, it does happen, but it's rare. So next, you want to make sure that you've created a Google Sheet. It can just be a blank sheet on your Google account. It's basically just like an Excel spreadsheet. Then you will click Manage to sign in with that Google account through Facebook, and then it will integrate that sheet so that it can populate that data for you. Okay, so all that being said, we're going to get into the Google Sheet now. Okay, so here's what the Google Sheet looks like. It will import all this data whenever you get a lead through your ad. You have the ad ID, the name, ad set name, campaign ID, campaign name. A lot of that stuff is not really relevant to you. It is if you're running multiple campaigns and multiple ads. That way you can kind of see what's performing. So the columns that you need to really be focused on is the phone number, the email, the name. And then I added these 3 columns myself manually into this sheet, and they are quoted, closed, and amount. And that's important because guess what? Anytime you make a phone call to this person and you determine if they want a quote, you want to put it here in a spreadsheet as yes, they want me to quote them. Okay, maybe this one is no, yes, yes, no, yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes. You get the idea. So you want to operate this in real time. As soon as someone populates this form, you can either refresh this periodically and see if a new one has been added. Sometimes Facebook will send you a notification, if you're lucky, that a lead has been sent to this spreadsheet, or whether it's been in your lead center on Facebook. I've never had much success with that, so what I do is I have a script that I use for my clients that will generate an email to them once a new row has been added to the spreadsheet. So whenever they get a new lead, it'll get sent to them via email, so they know right away I need to call this person and ask them if they want a quote. Then you come in here and mark it yes or no, and then once you provide them the estimate, you need to mark it whether they closed or not. Okay, let's just say yes. All right, let's just say the rest of these are no's, just for the sake of simplicity. Okay, all right, so let's just say you closed that job, you did it for $6,000. Let's say it was a concrete job, you made 6K on it, and you spent, you know, we can go back to Ads Manager in a minute and see some of the data, but let's just envision that you spent $100 a day for 5 business days and you got 12 leads out of it, which is represented by these 12 rows. All right, so out of these 12 leads, you got one person that wanted you to do the work, and you performed that work and you made 6,000 on it. So you spent 500 to make 6,000. That's important information to know, because guess what, you can go back and take a portion of this 6,000 and then put it back toward your Facebook ads campaign and then scale it. So maybe you spent 500 that week to get that $6,000 sale. Well, maybe next week you increase it to 800 and then see if you can get another lead. Maybe the next week you get 2 sales for $6,000. And you see where I'm going with this. If you track it, then you know what's working for you, and then you can ultimately put that money back into the campaign and make educated decisions on it. You can create another campaign potentially to do another service that, let's just say you do lawn care and landscaping. Maybe you want to do an ad for lawn care, maybe you want to do an ad for landscaping, which may be pruning, mulching, whatever the case may be. So you can run 2 campaigns to get 2 different types of customers, and then you can perform those against one another to see which one gives you the most revenue, and then you make a decision. Okay, well, maybe lawn care isn't really what's driving me on Facebook, so you turn that campaign off, and then you put the rest of that money toward regular landscaping. So you can do that in almost any industry. Concrete guy I've been working with does hardscaping and like driveways and whatnot, so he wants to run a couple different campaigns potentially. So that's how you do that. If you're interested in this system, this is how it works. I'll basically set this up for you for a one-time fee. I can manage it for you. A lot of people want me looking over their shoulder and making sure their campaigns are running appropriately. I can do that as a monthly retainer as well. Pretty affordable, and they don't have to worry about it. I handle it all, and then basically ask them, okay, well, how did these leads turn out for you? Are you getting the right type of people contacting you? Maybe we should try a different ad. Maybe we should try a different creative, a different video, pictures, whatever. There's so many factors in this to consider. So having someone on their team that can kind of analyze this data and make real-time decisions is very helpful, in my opinion, rather than them trying to learn this process and figure out how to run ads themselves when they're just trying to do the work. So all that being said, let's go back and look at some data here on this particular account. Let's go back here and look at the dates of January 25th through February 4th. This gentleman spent over $1,000 and he got 22 leads. Okay, that's basically a little more than a week. He got 22 leads at roughly $50 a lead. Okay, so I have a cold audience campaign here, which is set up to generate leads from people that have never seen his business before, and then a retargeting campaign to target people that have liked, commented, or shared on his post. I put them in an audience, and over the course of time, as that audience gets bigger, this price per result is going to come down, and it already has started to come down some. The goal is to get it at half the cost of the cold audience leads. So this cost per lead will theoretically come down as I get more people into this retargeting campaign. These are warm audience leads. They have already seen you before. They've interacted with your ad. They know who you are. They're more likely to convert at a lower cost. That'll come down because this campaign has just started. Okay, so you can see here that $50 for a concrete lead is pretty affordable, in my opinion, for the result of potentially a $6,000 to $10,000 job, $1,000 altogether for the week, or just a little over a week. And so that's how the data works. That's how you can manage it. So you can imagine that if all these leads were message leads, like I mentioned earlier, how the data can get really skewed. So you could potentially have 40 to 50 leads in here, and then really only half of them are real that actually needed someone to perform an estimate for them. So the forms definitely filter out a lot of the junk. It saves you time and ultimately saves you money, because time is money. So that's really all I have to say about this topic today. Just wanted to show you some of the nuances in the platform and things that would help optimize and improve your campaign strategy. I know everyone seems to think that they're an expert on Facebook ads because they can boost a post. There's more to it than that. There's always more to it than that. It's just that they're trying to create a way to take your money very easily, and then you keep your fingers crossed hoping that you get a lead from it. So put a little education behind your ad campaign strategy, your marketing strategies. Have someone help you out. If it's one time, I set it up for you. If you make that money back in one job, I've paid for myself. So it's really worth it in the long run to have someone come in and do this for you and set it up in a thoughtful way. If you're interested in me helping you with that, my information is below. Check it out. So if you found this information useful, please subscribe if you're on YouTube. Leave a comment below if you have any questions on Facebook. Be happy to help you out. But that's it for today. We'll talk to you in the next video.